In this video, I'm going to show you how to check for a tire leak, whether it be on the tire itself or around the rim. Don't forget to check out the clip at the end of the video for more information on the channel. But in case you don't get a chance to, let me know your feelings. Share it on the video. That means liking, disliking, commenting, and subscribing. Let me know what you think, and that also helps the channel grow too. Alright, so what you're first going to do is jack up the car and support it properly with jack stands. Safety first, of course, as I always say. And then you're going to remove the tire. Now, I'm not going to show you remove the tire. Every car is different. Some are 4 bolts, some 5 bolts, some 6 bolt. But you remove your tire off the car. So now you'll physically kind of look over the tire, see if there's any noticeable damage or anything that could be actually causing the problem. This could be looking over the sidewall of the tire. Looking along here and checking and see if there's any cracks. As the rubber gets old, it can crack and that can actually split through and air can seep out. So just looking along the sidewall of the tire, seeing if you can see cracks, tears, anything that could cause it. And then you're looking along the tread of the tire. There you guys. And you're going to be looking for anything that could be causing it. Now, of course, little stones, this is normal. That's not going to do it. But you're looking for nails, anything sharp, glass, or anything like that could have actually gone into the tire and actually do any damage. Now, one thing to point out, if you're doing this, we tend to want to, I've seen a lot of people do it, actually want to rub your hand along and check. Of course, if it's something like a nail that's been over time been kind of driven and flattened out, it's not going to be a problem. But something sharp like glass or the nail has just gone in there, they could be jutting out. You don't want to cut yourself, so just be cautious of that. But you're just kind of going to go through and look at it and visually inspect and see if you see anything on the tire that could indicate that there's a problem. Next up, you want to take a listen around the tire just to see if you hear any hissing. To do that, of course, you have to make sure the tire is topped up. So, for example, let's just say you got a leak, the tire is a little low. If there's no tire pressure in there, the air pressure in there, there's nothing to push out on. So then the tire, you may not hear anything. So you inflate it up to your regular whatever your tire is rated for. In this case, like 35 psi for this vehicle, and then you just go in and kind of just like this, go in. And you can listen everywhere. Listen along the tread. Listen along the bead, listen to the valve, turn the tire over, and do the same on the other side as well. Just listening for any hissing or anything like that could indicate there could be a leak. And then you're going to have that pinpoint right away. Okay, so next thing then you're going to do is if all else checks out, you can't find a leak, you can't hear it, nothing visible, then you're going to go to a spray bottle and a bit of soapy water solution. I just put a little bit of car wash in there with some water, not too much, you don't need much at all, it doesn't have to be very soapy, as you can see it's mostly water there, a little bit of suds at the top. But it doesn't have to be very much. You can even use dishwasher soap or laundry detergent, although I don't recommend that, that's not really for your car. But for something like this, if you're in a pinch and you don't have car wash, then that will work. And you're just spraying. Now, if you don't visibly see anything along the tread of the tire, typically, although not always, the leak tends to be around the bead or near the valve, front or back. Obviously, the valve in the front or the bead front or back. So I always start spraying there. But if you spray there and don't see anything, then you can spray along the tread. Something could have gone into the tread, caused the puncture, and then come out, and it could be leaking there. But I've seen more cases if you don't see anything that's actually stuck into the tread of the tire, then it's got to be something around the bead or on the valve. Before I move forward, I should also point out too that if you find the leak and the leak is along the sidewall of the tire or just at the tip of the tread, that's not repairable. If that's damaged, you need a new tire. So if you do the spraying, you do see the leak and it's coming out, happens to be coming from like right there, or there's a puncture, something went into the side of the tire and it's jutting out or something like that, then get a new tire. Go ahead and spray. So you want to get good saturation on there, and in case actually you're wondering why this is happening, wherever the air is going to leak from, when you have the soapy solution, it's going to cause it to bubble, and that's where you're going to actually see where the problem is, or hope to see the problem. Sometimes it's not so easy, but and then you actually visibly look. And now I should also point out to you too, a lot of things that people don't consider or don't think could happen is the rim could get a hairline crack or something. So make sure I always check the tire first. The rim getting a crack is kind of a low possibility, but it could happen. So if you spray everything else, you don't see it, don't be afraid to spray on the rim and even turn the wheel around, spray on the inside of it, and look for any leaks there. There could be a hairline crack or something. Okay, upon inspection, I don't see anything that's indicating on the front bead or the valve that there's a leak here. This tire does leak. It's very slow leak, but it does leak. So we'll move on to the back. Now, if you have a big leak or anything like that, then that's going to be pretty easy to see, but sometimes it's not so easy. So if you want, you can have someone, either yourself or someone, kind of go onto the tire as well, especially if it's a very slow leak. So if you have something that we're losing 5 psi or 10 psi a day, you should be able to see that. But if it's something where you're losing like 3 or 4 psi in a month, which is still a leak, but a very slow leak, then it may not be visible right away. So doing something just like this, with balance of course, and pushing on the tire, and checking and seeing, because that could help push out any air that, you know, you're not necessarily not going to show up just with no load on the wheel itself, right? From here though, it looks like, looking at the bead, I don't see anything there. So as I have it on this side, I'm going to spray the inside of the rim just to be sure. Spray the sidewall as well. Actually, I'll do that right now. One thing to point out for you, especially with the new cars and these fancier rims, and this tire kind of sticks out a bit, which is nice. But if you're going to flip it over, you know, protect your rims too. Put a cloth or a blanket or something, just so you don't scratch it on whatever surface you're working on. So we're just going to spray the rest of the tire here. Spray inside on the rim. And remember, sometimes it just happens. You don't find anything, it could happen. In case you're wondering about spraying the tread, it's just a matter of taking the spray bottle. I go section by section, so I'll spray this part here. Do a visual look. See if you see any bubbling or anything like that. And if not, I'll just rotate the tire a bit, spray, or visual inspection, and so on and so forth. Alright, unfortunately, wasn't able to locate the leak on that tire. And that is possible. What I suspect is the case on the tire is wherever the leak is more affected by the cold than the heat. In the wintertime, I was losing a fair bit of pressure. I was losing sometimes 10 psi in a month, 10 to 15 psi in a month. Now, since the weather is starting to warm up a bit, it's only lost about 3 or 4 psi in a month. So I think as it's heating up, you're losing less and less pressure. That can absolutely happen. And unfortunately, when it comes to this sort of thing, it is hit or miss. This is another tire, though, that I'm fairly certain it's got a leak along the bead. So I'm going to use this as an example, just so you guys can see what I was talking about. So I'm going to get my same soapy solution. Oh, perfect. Yep. So let me show you guys what I mean here. So you can see right over here. You see it's constantly bubbling up. This is a leak that's happening on the bead. In this case here, the bead needs to be resealed. You would, wherever the leak is, you would see that. Whether it be on the rim, as I told you, whether it be along the bead, the valve, the sidewall, the tread, wherever it is, that's the type of thing you'll see, something like that. And that's an indication that yes, you do in fact have a leak. And that's just a matter of fixing it. And I'll just recap in case you're wondering. I mean, there's other ways and lots of other things you can do to fix. If it's a rim, pretty much done. Sometimes they can be, sealed up or welded, cleaned up from the inside, and sealed from the inside. That's always iffy. Sidewalls and the side of the tread cannot be fixed. If that's damaged, might as well get rid of the tire. Valve, you just need a new valve if the valve is the issue. And if it's up on here on the tread, then it could be something where you can get a puncture kit, or you may have to replace the tire depending on how bad it is and how the hole is and everything. So these are all things you'd have to weigh out. But yeah, ultimately that's what it is, and that's how you test your tire. Now the YouTube stuff. I always love a great feedback, so make sure right off the bat to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Now, if you like something on the channel, definitely like it. Give it that thumbs up. If you disliked it, thumbs down for sure. But let me know why. That's what the comment section are for. And whatever it is, if you like something, then I know it's working. And if you dislike something, then I know something didn't. But let me know why, so I can continue to build a channel and make it better for me and for you. Aside from that, commenting is great too. So if there's something you can do better, something you can do different, any tips for other viewers, I'm all about that too. So make sure to put that in there. If you have a question about something that's maybe not even related directly to the video, leave that for me as well. Other than that, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next video.